Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Ankerstar Wealth Morning Show. I'm your host, Allison Ankerstar, and today we'll be talking about how Facebook users can file their class action claims, the latest on Tesla's earnings, and the role Nvidia chips are playing in AI. But before we begin, as a reminder, this is a financial education presentation and should not be construed as personal financial advice. Full disclaimer information is available at ankerstarwealth.com. Good morning, Steve. Facebook has a class action lawsuit. How can folks participate?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Allison. So a class action lawsuit, again, remember that's a big lawsuit against everybody out there. Against a company that anybody can file a claim on, right? So this is kind of like the mass wrongdoing sort of thing. So anybody affected can participate. So Facebook has one of these against them for privacy. Remember Cambridge Analytics got in trouble years ago. Analytica, excuse me. It's just, I think it's still part of that for harvesting your data, that sort of thing. So if you had a Facebook account from May 2007, I think I got mine in 2011, somewhere in there. But yeah, that's a long time ago, right? 2007, all the way up to December 2022, such as Allison. I think you started yours before then, but anywhere in there you can make a claim against against Meta, the parent company of Facebook. Stock's getting hit a little bit this morning, but the exact website for you to go to is facebookuserprivacysettlement.com. I'm making it flash down there between yellow and blue. All you have to do is put your name, address, email address, confirm you lived in the U.S. and were active on Facebook. So any time in between those active dates. So pretty easy to do. Probably takes 30 seconds. I'll do it later this morning. But everybody out there that is affected should cash in on this, and you'll get a check in the mail for a whopping 30 cents or something. But might as well. You never know. If a bunch of people blow it off, that's the nature of a class action lawsuit. If a bunch of people blow it off and don't do it, then your share of it is even that much more. So anyhow, take a few seconds to do that, and that's where you need to go.
Next, Tesla is selling off hard after earnings this morning. What's the latest?
Well, Tesla, you know that I have not been a fan of Tesla stock. I've always said buy the car, not the stock. I think the cars are amazing. I've never owned one. I love riding in them, though. I have several friends that have them. It's always kind of cool, unique features. It has, very much Elon Musk type humor throughout the vehicle with the different things it can do. So I think, it's just a cool car. Now, is it special? I don't see much that it's more special than any other EV out there. It's just kind of cool, swaggy, Elon Musky, that sort of thing. If you've been following in the news, Elon Musk has been going forward and doing price cuts across the board to try to maintain the car sales. Well, certainly every time you make any price cut, that's going to hit your margin, a little bit. So if you reduce it by $1, reduce price by $1, then however many vehicles you sell times $1 would be the amount that you're making less, right? Well, they've cut by thousands, right? So maintain that market leader, trying to undercut the competition. You can do that in the business world. You see mom and pop grocery stores doing that in small towns, bankrupt eat a loss, bankrupt the enemy, if you will. You see gas stations used to do it, and they kind of all are on the same page now. And I think there's some legality behind gas stations doing stuff like that. But Walmart does that, right? So Walmart will intentionally take a loss to be able to knock somebody out of business. So not uncommon. However, what does that do to your earnings in the meantime? Well, that means you're going to get hit, and you're going to get hit pretty hard, right? So there's where we are. Let me go out to a 1-year chart. It's a little more informative of kind of the path of Tesla. So down 8% this morning. Is it the end of the world? No, it's a great company, but they certainly have challenges. If it's a car company, it's still overvalued. If it's more than a car company, it's undervalued, right? And they, of course, certainly have an amazing CEO. However, that CEO also has other irons in the fire, like going to Mars and battling AI and all the other things that he has going on. So it's kind of cool. But so buy, sell, or hold, it's tough. Like I said, if it's a car company, hard sell, get rid of it. car companies are not going to maintain a PE of 449. I mean, it's just more like 7, right? And Ford's getting hit this morning too. All the car makers, I think, are getting hit this morning. But if it's a tech company and they're going to be the leader in AI and cure cancer and all that stuff, then you should hold on to this sort of thing. But always been a fan of the car and not the stock, so you have been warned, if you will.
Last, Nvidia has been on absolute fire lately due to its chips' importance in AI. Is ticker NVDA a buy, sell, or hold?
Well, it's certainly attractive, and it's all over the news. So this is an article from this morning on CNBC. Excuse me, it's from last night. The real leader in the S&P isn't S&P 500, isn't Apple or Microsoft. It's this stock. Well, and then they start talking. You sort of just see a headline down, a little bit of hyperbole in the headline, but sure, it is Nvidia. So, and again, this is one guy's argument. However, I'm going to highlight here, this is really the line that you need to see, is that AI has certainly gotten more than its share of the press this year, right? That's what everybody's talking about. Elon Musk was on an interview earlier this week where he talked about it being needing to be regulated before the bad thing happens. It's from yesterday's show. Something bad happens and we regulate it. He's like, well, with AI, once they take over, it's not like you can go back and regulate that. So really saying some insightful things as far as AI. But much like we did with nuclear weapons, it's we're going to race to build it because we can. So, and then we're going to, once we've built it, we're going to figure out how to not ever use it. Same sort of thing with AI at the extreme capability, right, of it destroying the human race, is we want to, scientists will build it out to see if they can build something capable of taking out the human race, and then we'll have to figure out how to stop it from doing so. So interesting. However, when you focus on Nvidia itself, I think, the best chips out there. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. I'm not an expert enough to argue that. But if you look at the stock price, really it comes down to, is Nvidia a buy, sell, or hold? And we'll pull up the chart here again. The 1 year is the most instructive. Look at that move. So this is one of these, and I say this, I have this conversation all the time with folks. It's like, well, in a perfect world, if I was or anybody was the world's best investor, right, you would simply only pick a handful of stocks and they would all go, move up 100% in a year or 100% in 4 months, like this one has, right? That's like the nirvana, right? Well, much like any professional endeavor is, you don't get these all the time. And in the stock world, what the phrase I use is, you have to say you missed it at this point. So I certainly would not buy here. When you look at, the year-to-date change, 91%, that in itself isn't, okay, maybe there's a reason, right? Now, if it's AI chips, and that's the reason. Current P 160, forward P 61. I mean, those are astronomical numbers. So they have to be changing the world. Now, you could argue they are. Okay. However, when I talk risk reward with folks, the risk is the projected amount to the downside, and the reward is, your best guess to the upside. And those are all the, they're guesstimates, right? I mean, they're probabilities and approximations using the knowledge you have available to you at the time to come up with that math, right? So it's not perfect. However, when you see something like this, it's like, there's really nothing on the chart to stop this from retracing back down to 200, just due to reversion to the mean, if you will. So I really don't like it here. You can make an argument, well, it was back here in 2021, so therefore it's going right back. I hear you. I could buy that argument. It's not going to get my money. But directly, I shouldn't say it's going to get my money. It's going to get my money indirectly through ETFs like ROBT, which is the AI ETF that I use. So I know I have exposure to Nvidia in there, but I don't really need it outright. If you have it, I'd probably hold it. Just kind of wait and see. And then I wouldn't necessarily sell here unless you took an outsized position. Just basic money management. If you put a ton of money into Nvidia and you got a 90% move and you don't sell any of it, well, then you don't that you have demons you need to get rid of as an investor if you can't take a little bit off the table. So anyhow, that's where we are with Nvidia. The story's too early to tell, but certainly the company's kicking. Well, company's doing great, and the stock has been kicking, but now it's what to do from here, and that's largely up to you in your own personal situation.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Please submit your questions as a comment through social media or directly to our email at vipservices@ankerstarwealth.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get daily updates. That's all we have for today's show. I'm Allison Ankerstar, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.